Duolingo doesn't just teach languages, it also shapes behaviors. Think about this with me. Why do people feel more guilty after missing a day on Duolingo, but not for skipping a class? That's not just discipline, that's also called consumer behavior. I used to spend a lot of time taking language classes, but after some time I realized that it wasn't enough. Once the class was done, my interaction with the language was done for the rest of the day or the week. So after I saw that Duolingo's all on TikTok a couple of times, I decided to download the app and it allowed me to practice anywhere at any time. Duolingo gives experience points, streaks, and notifications, which act as a positive reinforcement for the users, and that will increase the likelihood of repeated behavior, which in this case is to keep using the app. This is an example of operant conditioning, where a behavior is shaped through rewards or consequences. When users complete a lesson, they immediately receive rewards like experience points or the increase on their streaks. That makes them more likely to repeat the behavior given the immediate positive reinforcement that they receive. Over time, these reinforcements create habits. These habits lead to a routine decision making. This means that the user now opens the app automatically without even really thinking about it, which is considered a low effort routine behavior.
Duolingo is effective because it uses intrinsic and extrinsic motivation. Intrinsic motivation is when you do something because you genuinely want to, like learning a language for travel, career opportunities, or personal growth. But what really keeps people engaged is extrinsic motivation. Duolingo uses things like leaderboards, daily reminders, and badges to push users to keep going, even when they're not motivated. This also ties into need recognition, when there's a gap between your desired state and your current state. In this case, the current state is not knowing the language and the desired state is becoming fluent. Duolingo constantly highlights that gap, for example, showing you how close you are to the next level, or reminding you that you're falling behind other users to keep you going. So instead of only relying on personal goals, Duolingo showed you what you haven't achieved yet. Duolingo also stands out because of how it uses TikTok to capture attention. In consumer behavior, we talk about the process of exposure, attention, and interpretation. You have to see something, pay attention to it, and then make meaning from it. Duolingo's TikTok content is chaotic, funny, and sometimes even weird.
Fiesta, salsa, quinceañera, baila, siente el ritmo, ponte a sonreír.
What's interesting is that it really doesn't even feel like traditional advertising. A lot of people don't even realize they're being marketed to. They just see entertaining content. And even if you don't use Duolingo, you still recognize the brand. That's because of the mere exposure effect. The more often we see something, the more we are to like it over time. So, Duolingo uses TikTok not just to advertise, but to stay constantly visible, which keeps it top of mind when people think about learning a language.
Brands can become part of your identity. Duolingo makes their users feel like they are improving their own self every single day. All this stems for the motivation of the self-improvement. Social influence impacts behavior through subjective norms. Duolingo uses social features to influence users to stay consistent and compete with others. Example, your Duolingo streak is not just a progress, it is part of how you see yourself.
Finally, Duolingo's success comes from how well it manages the post-purchase experience. In consumer behavior, satisfaction happens when a product meets or exceeds positive feelings about the decision. Duolingo keeps users engaged by making the experience interactive and consistent, so users feel like they're actually making progress every time they open the app. When users feel satisfied, they're more likely to continue using the product. This creates long-term brand loyalty. Consumer behavior, repeat usage is one of the strongest indicators of success. Duolingo doesn't just get users, it keeps them, which is the ultimate goal of consumer behavior.